本节目由汉康生技企划制作，
以平台转移生命希望，布局全球商业价值。汉康生技驱动抗癌革命的领先基因。
Hello， 欢迎收听汉康生技出品的节目《与汉康读懂肿瘤免疫新药的抗癌革命》。那在生技产业的长征中，研发跟商业化可以说是需要两条并行，才能成功让一个公司好好的存活下去，跟有很大突破生长的主因之一。那在2025年的6月，汉康生技写下了一个非常重要的里程碑，他宣布了跟上海的复宏汉霖签署了抗癌新药 HCB101 的区域授权合作，总金额高达2.02亿美元。那也许很多人会很好奇的是，在这个还算处于比较早期研发阶段的新药背后，到底这个国际大药厂是看中了什么？那大家也知道，公司要投公司之前会做所谓的尽职调查，也就是 DD。那汉康生技又是如何透过严格的科学还有法规来检验说他们的东西真的可以成功的国际化跟进入授权的市场？今天我们特别邀请到这场合作案的核心推手汉康生技商务开发长叢越华博士，来跟我们分享这场从实验室到谈判桌的真实故事。Dr. Chong, hello. So Dr. Chong, I noticed that you hold a PhD degree in organic chemistry in Germany. So how and why you involved in this? I think it's more like biomedicine developing.
It breaks down into alignment of purpose and more importantly science, as well as the potentials that we see from each other, like I see in Hancor and Hancor sees me. So alignment of purpose, I think we all talk about how as like this stage of the career, how we can bring value to other people, to patients. And for me, translating groundbreaking science into real-world impact is always my passion. And after leading, like over 1 billion international licensing deals across different regions, for me, I was looking for a team who's able to do so, basically combining technology, rigor, as well as very bold ambition. And Hancor, obviously, at its very inception, want to be a global biotech, and for me, that's important. And more important, they want to serve global patients, and that really resonates well with me, because without, the bold vision, I think it's always easy to lose our purpose. That's one thing. The science, obviously, is a very, fundamental one for all the decisions, because we all know that the tumor immunotherapy has completely transformed the cancer patient outcome in the past 2 decades. But still, we see suffer every day. We see it's not enough. We see the survival rate probably is not as ideal as we all hoped for. And obviously, people dive into the reasons, and we see the adaptive immunity every human have. It's trying its very best, and together with our medicines, is trying to offer the best results. But the innate immunity really need to be touched upon, really need to play part in this. And HanchorBio is one of the leading companies globally working really in deep in this axis. So we have our lead compound HCB101, and that is spot on a innate immunity backbone. And before I joined, I think HCB101 has relatively complete preclinical package already, and the science is really singing to my ears. So for that is also a tick. And the last is the potentials. And obviously, we all want to, be part of the patient-centric innovation, and we all want to, add value to others. And I think my experience and expertise might be relevant to this relatively young company that was 2 years ago. And Hancor probably see, what I can bring on board as well. So I think that's how everything started. Yeah. Yes, I mean, it's very personal as well. Unfortunately, as we human being, longevity is become, more prevalent. The cancer prevalency is remaining extremely high. I think is one of how the biology as a human being plays out. It's very personal. My father died of lung cancer at my final year of my PhD, and around that time there was no effective treatment. I see someone I know so well diminish into nothing, and it has a huge impact on me. Yeah. So I think, I mean, if we think about, like everybody listening to this podcast, I think either, it's a blessing and a curse. We're growing older and older, but the cancer become, like different type and different prevalence, different indications. And we all need to be, be aware of this and then somehow contribute somehow manage this, overall disease area. So that's what we are trying to do at HanchorBio as well. Yeah.
So can you tell our audience the story about Hanchor and Henlius? Because I know Dr. Liu and their team are really, really professional team. But in business world, I think Hanchor is a kind of startup company, right? And especially in medicine, research, this domain knowledge need a lot of time and experiment to claim to verify their efficiency or accuracy and something else. So can you tell our audience the story why Henlius invest Hanchor?
Sure, I'm happy to do so. I think you are right. Considering the time to develop a drug and then bring it from the lab to the market, it takes over 10 years. We are relatively young, and Hanchor can be classified as startup because we have the startup mentality. We drive forward really aggressively and passionately, and we stick with our belief, obviously based on science. And at the same time, when we grow, we seek partnerships to enable us to go longer, further, and faster. So that's a reason why we are keen to establish a proper partnership, an enabling partnership, when we were relatively young. And the story behind it is really a beautiful story of a true partnership, and still allows us to move in things, especially HCB101 development globally fast. As you know, that any BD deal starts with a belief in the science, and I talked about previously the innate immunity and work really closely with adaptive immunity. It's quite a unique position in a sense, especially HCB101 is uniquely positioned in a sense like is easily combined with all sorts of mode of action and for example ADC, other bispecifics, even cancer vaccines. It's easily combined with other targets, with adaptive immunity assets. So it offers a unique angle and unique value. And when we started to think about the partnership, because I thought, as any biotech, we want the partnership to validate our science, validate our, collaboration model. And we obviously do due diligence on partners, potential partners. So we had a screen and designed a deal deliberately for it to be regional. The reason for that is because its value, HCB101, when I was talking about HCB101's value, because of the backbone value, we want to keep it as much as we can internally, but at the same time find a true partner, believe in it, and then multiply its value in partners region. So we decided, first of all, it has to be a regional deal. And for a regional deal, I think in Greater China area, there are probably, top 10 pharma that we have engaged in conversations. And Henlius, in the end, stands out really remarkably. Let me explain a little bit why. Because, first of all, Henlius has transformed itself into a global player. From its regional past, it has truly become a global player, especially in the innovative perspective. And Henlius is doing so well in gastric cancer, in digestive tract cancer, and established very, very strong moat around its portfolio. And as you know, that HCB101 right now is actually very much focused in digestive tract cancer, although it has a lot of potential in other indications, including head and neck and triple negative and so on and so forth. We will continue to explore. But Henlius has already a very strong moat around it and allow us to access to its expertise as well as KOL. And third is execution. Execution means Henlius is able to, conduct clinical trials in its region very efficiently and in a cost-effective manner, as well as, engaging with all those key decision makers in that region. And for us, that's also important because time matters a lot, especially for a biotech. So we want, together go longer, go faster, and cover broader indications. And I think Henlius tick all the boxes. So that's a reason why we start a conversation. And then obviously the management team from both sides sit down together and chisel out a kind of scaffold suitable for the partnership. And then finally lead into the partnership and signing off by the end of June last year. Yeah.
Because Dr. Cong have spearheaded numerous international licensing deals across UK and mainland China. So I'm curious because Dr. Cong is the CBO of Hong Kong. What question is the most difficult to answer to those investors? What they concern, and you think, because I think you're major in no matter chemistry or biomedicine development, but in the business field, I think that is a kind of different, right?
Oh yeah, totally. When I was spearheaded other companies' BD function and strategy as well investment function, I think we come across a lot of questions, and those are generally applicable to any biotech and also relevant to Hancor's growth as well. So after all, we are in this global ecosystem, and for Hancor, facing investors and facing partners, obviously everything is science driven. So any scientific related questions, is the foundation for either investment or partnership. And then there will be, corporate related questions in terms of, the strategy, in terms of the corporate growth, and, what is a focus, and what is indication selection, and so on. So all those questions are more or less on the corporate side. And then there's almost, long-term vision-related questions as well, depending on what investors are, interested to know. So we are more than happy to entertain individual investors, individual questions, case by case, because I think the underlying reason why they raise that question could be different.
I learned from Dr. Liu that your drug candidates HCB101 and HCB301 have achieved very promising results in clinical trials. Let's say I believe investors will also be quite curious about the patent protection these drugs have within the pharmaceutical sector.
You mean the IP protection?
Yeah, IP protection, because I think...
Oh, sure, of course. So we have a very good IP discussion actually in the past few weeks, and we continue to build moat around our intellectual properties. So intellectual properties can be divided into different buckets. And for Hancor, I think we are enforce our IP intellectual property protection across all areas. So obviously there is, the very easily identified patent or patent application. That's something more or less tangible. Then there is a know-how. Know-how, how do you actually churn out really powerful preclinical candidates from our technology platform? Know-how, how to, generate a proper CMC property, from certain assets, and that's really intangible. On top of that, there is also a lot of know-how accumulated in terms of, engaging with the KOL, engaging with patients, and identifying the right path forward. So for the IP protection, we have multiple layers. And for investors who's interested in that, I think they can rest assured the strategy is, based upon a very well-designed path forward. We have external IP councils in the US and in China. And we are also utilizing the IP council to engage with the European IP regulatory authority. And the first layer, obviously, is our technology platform. The second layer is everybody knows composition of matter, and then there is a method of use, there is, like formulation, so on and so forth. So we keep on adding individual asset family tree, let it grow, but also adding a family, IP thicket. So IP thicket might be a concept less, familiar by other people, but it's actually the protection from different dimension, protection of method of use, protection of formulation, and so on and so forth. And so building on that, every individual invention that we got, I think we have a thorough protection from different angles. And we pay a lot of attention to this. We have our own IP committee, and we meet regularly discussing that. And next one is actually next week. So it's a very relevant question, and it's a very, very good question investors should care about, which we take very much in the very core and center of our business.
Wow, it sounds really great. And I think not only me, I think those audience are also curious about, is there any other international levels pharmaceutical factory are interested in HCB111 or the product of HanchorBio?
Yes, of course. I think we are always outward facing, and we are always very, engaging external, and we talk about the ecosystem. And I don't think any individual biotech can survive alone in this industry. So we obviously engage with a lot of partners, and big or small, for various reasons. So every individual company and the conversation, as you know, is under confidentiality. I'm not able to deliberate, disclose the name and the specific conversation. But what I can make you feel comfortable is we are engaging really extensively with, for example, the top 20 pharmas, and some of them are under CDA for different projects. And we are also engaging with global complementary, like in terms of capability, complementary biotech or mid-sized pharma, and for more collaborative, discussions for individual assets. And even, we are engaging with academia and research institute, helping us to elucidate more fundamental scientific questions, and they are all world-class. So I talked at the beginning that we are a global biotech, and we have to collaborate with a global top player. And beyond that, we are also engaging with a global number one business intelligence analyst. I'm not going to name the name because you can hear our announcement hopefully in the coming month or two. And we are working with them, and we make the whole community, the ecosystem, aware of our achievements. So different size and different purpose, and different deal type suits different partnership, at the same time allowing us to grow, shape us into the ideal path forward. Yeah.
Even though the team at HanchorBio has a great track record in biotech R&D and bring product to market, they're still a 5-year-old startup. Most investors, especially in Taiwan, really care about whether a company is still in the 0 to 1 proof of concept phase or moving into 1 to 100 scaling phase. Where do you feel HanchorBio stands right now?
I think we are in the 1 to 100 stage already. So double digits for sure. I'm not going to say where we are because I think our assets hold a lot of potential. I'm not going to just speculate right now, but as you can, you rightfully point out that our technology platform is quite enabling, and the bispecific, multispecific is very much on trend. And please bear in mind, and I'm sure that the investors and also your audience are very scientific driven as well and have a lot of business acumen. Our technology platform is not specific to any specific therapeutic areas. It's actually indication agnostic. It can apply to other indications, go beyond, like the other flip side of oncology is immunology. That's some direction we are exploring already in our lab. And it can also apply to other, therapeutic areas, which I'm not going to name individual names, but it's definitely in our consideration in the BD long-term strategy, how can we move things forward? And that's one thing. The second thing is from the asset perspective, the reason why I'm thinking it's we beyond 0 to 1 is, first of all, we have a validating deal done with Henlius, and the asset HCB101 is right on track to deliver its clinical promise, and HCB101 mono, HCB101 combo is all very much on track and even ahead of schedule, and we are super excited about what it can deliver. And there's a Chinese New Year coming up, so potentially we will see what's going to happen, or because some patients may want to even have a break and so on, but some of the patients are doing great and holds a lot of potential. On the top of that, we are planning trials in controlled trials globally. Once again, we're engaging with the regulatory authority. I'm sure our CMO, Luke, is going to tell you more about it. And so for 101, I think definitely is already in the second phase of, value validation. And for other assets, although it's relatively early, 301 and is already in the clinic, and the 303 is about to, and 206 is right on track. It's in the IND enabling study, and I'm sure you can find all these in our website. And so for us, I think it's more on the how can we do things better, in a sense, like deliver clinical evidence faster and for broader indications on that stretch of the journey. So that's the reason why I think we are in the, instead of 0 to 1, we are already 1 to 100, but I think we are beyond double digits.
Yeah. And I'm curious, is HCB101 is efficient to the patient all over the world, or just specific to treat the Asian or American? Or
that's a very relevant question, and thank you for bringing it up, because I think it really echoes with what we, what the company's purpose and what I'm here for. We want to always serve global patients, and different indications obviously has different regional specifics. For example, certain indication is much more prevalent in the Asia patient population. Standard of care is slightly different from the Western, standard of care, but fundamentally, HCB101 from mode of action perspective is very broad spectrum. It actually activates the innate immunity and allows the combination to play a greater role. So from the mode of action, it will be a broad spectrum asset, and therefore it will serve multiple indications and serve patients from different regions. So we are very confident that we want to bring this asset to global patients.
Great. So Dr. Chong basically based in England. So is there any business plan to the British factory or hospital in the future?
To be honest, I never really see myself's location matters that much for what I'm doing professionally. Fundamentally, I spend more time probably in the airport and in the hotel than staying at home, as you can anticipate. Because I just talk about, this global business. We just came back from JP Morgan, which obviously in San Francisco, and right now I think I'm preparing my next trip already and going to visit quite a few investors in Shanghai and Hong Kong. And in March, I think there is a capital events in Europe and also global partnering events all over the place. So for me, I don't associate my location with the business, but I think, nowadays the general practice is you need to be everywhere. You need to make the company visible. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Cong, for your insight sharing. We look forward to seeing HanchorBio's continued growth and success in the future.
No, thank you for having me. It's really my pleasure, and I hope that I shed some light on, Hancor's business and what we believe in and what we are doing. And we really welcome, any feedback that you probably would come across. We'd love to hear from the audience, love to hear from any friends and, who's relevant. I mean, their stories are relevant to us. So keep us, posted, and we would love to be part of everybody's journey. Fundamentally, it's a biomedicine and it's relevant to everyone.